Good morning, everybody. I hope you are having a good morning so far. My name is Roberto Jauregui. I am an engineer and tech support here in EPCOM Miami for the Miami branch. Today, I'll be showing you guys a little bit about the new license plate recognition camera that we currently have in stock. But before that, we are going to take 5 minutes just for everyone to show up. We do have a bit of people that are still missing for the webinars. And if you have any questions or anything while I'm doing the webinar, you can ask it in the questions panel, or you can ask it in the chat. Or now, I would like to ask for the people that are listening right now, if you can hear me well, if you can put it in the questions tab, please. Can you guys hear me all right? All right, once again, good morning, everybody. My name is Roberto Jauregui. I am a engineer slash technician here in the Miami branch for EPCOM. Today I'll be presenting you our new line of LPR cameras for E-Series. E-Series is a new CCTV line that we've had for quite a while now, and we're implementing new products, we're implementing new things to the line every so often. Now we're implementing a new LPR. We had one before, but this one is a lot better. So a general description of an LPR. What does an LPR do? How does it function? The LPR's main purpose is to capture and read the license plates and save it onto a log on your NVR, or save it on the log on whatever software you're using, or the camera itself. So how it works is the LPR is going to detect whatever license plate it reads. It's going to identify it. It's going to capture it. And then finally, it's going to give you a result. So the result would be the date that the license plate was captured and identified, the time, the license plate itself, and you can also create groups, whether it be a whitelist, whether it be an allow list or a block list or a stranger list. They will fall into different categories, and into those groups you can name those groups. Say there's a community, but the community is divided. So you would have the office employees, you would have the residents, and you would have the cleaners if you want to be specific about those kind of things. The AMPR technologies allows for the extractions of license plates in complex situations, directly identifying each character in the vehicle's license plate, as well as the format and number of the plate. The technology includes license plate and character detection, as well as recognition. So it also recognizes the plates, and it's all based on just deep learning algorithms that the camera uses. So what we're going to go through today is we're going to go through the list of supported countries that this LPR can be installed in, the list of applicable scenarios and not applicable scenarios, the installation, how would you install it, what would the best degree be for the license plate to be at, the lens, all sorts of things, the configuration, and finally we're going to be looking at the product features such as the lens, the motorized lens, how much space does the SD card hold, and all that stuff. So for the first one, the supported countries, right now this is a list of the supported countries that it supports that it would work in. If you need this list, you can email me or you can email Michael, which is the product engineer for the E-Series line. His email will be at the end of the webinar, and he can pass you this list or he can pass you the webinar. And also, if you weren't here in the beginning, you can ask me any questions here throughout the webinar. If you have any questions about like projects or anything at all, you can email me or you can email Michael, and we'll be happy to help with any of your upcoming projects or any questions you have, not even just of the LPR, but of the E-Series line. And we also sell a bunch of other products too. Remember that we are a distributor. We don't only sell CCTV. We have access control, we have networks, we have radios, we sell cables, we sell everything basically. So if you have any questions about not just E-Series, but other projects, then we'll be happy to help you. So going back to the topic of the supported countries, this is just a list of it: Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, North America, Latin America. And this is just a list of some of the supported countries, not all of them, because there are more that we support. It's not just these. Next is the applications. What scenarios are, how can you apply to these scenarios? So you can apply in barrier control. You can put an LPR in a barrier. Like I said earlier, you can put it in a community for entry and exit, which is how most of the communities are working nowadays. If you go into a community, you see the security house, which is here. You can see right here the security house in the middle here. It's also used in traffic surveillance. The new LPR cameras that we have a high kilometer per minute detection, so you can be used in highways, vehicle management as well. You can detect the vehicles in a parking lot, and it can be used in investigations for important events because it does save all of the events that it detects. And here are some of the not applicable scenarios. You cannot put an LPR in a shared entrance and exit. It has to be separate. The reason it has to be separate is because if you have an LPR coming in, the license, a car coming in, the LPR would recognize the license plate. It would open the barrier, it would cross, and then it would recognize it again, leaving the barrier open for maybe someone else that doesn't have access to that area. They would be allowed in because of that scenario. So the correct scenario would, and for road surveillance, you don't want double direction shared roads. So as shown there in the first picture, two cameras are monitoring different directions are locating on the same roadside, resulting in two cameras capturing the front and rear license plates of the same car. You correct it so it's a single direction road. So as shown in the second figure, different cameras are used on each side of the road to monitor the traffic from different directions. That is how you would install it on highways. So another application, well, yes, it is an application, but not really. It is compatible with the NVR software, so you can view events straight through the NVR. You can create groups through the NVR. You can make white lists and block lists and stranger lists on the NVR. And you can also use it on our software EVMS, which is available for Mac and Windows. You can see the live view on not just the LPR, but on any camera that you have added on your network or on your NVR. You can look at entry and exit times, so like a live log, a real-time log. You can add user and vehicle information to the whitelist, and you can check information of passing vehicles. This is all real time. You're monitoring this in real time. For the installation, here we're going to go through the user guide. We're going to go through what lens selection is optimal in what scenarios and what's recommended, and the installation requirements. So for lens selection, remember that this is just a recommended, this is what's default on the device. You aren't going to use the recommended settings on maybe not even half of your installations. You could tweak it a little bit. It all depends on the installation itself. These are just some recommended settings to get it up and going. So some of the requirements are no obstructions on the license plate. So you can't have anything on the license plate covering the numbers. On the lens with automatic iris mode suitable for a wide range of lighting changes such as direct sunlight on the license plate. Focus clearly and select the appropriate focal distance segment according to the height of the camera. So you have to make sure that the license plate is centered and the LPR can see that it's centered. It's in the center of the camera. The horizontal tilt angle of the license plate is in a range of -5 degrees to 5 degrees. So if you see here, the first license plate is at 0 degrees, so it's completely centered. That's completely fine. On the second one, it's at a 5-degree angle. That is completely fine. On number 4, it also says the -5 degrees. That is also completely fine. This one is where you start having a little issues, where it's at 10 degrees, somewhere and above 10 degrees, you might have a little issue detecting the license plate. And as for the lens selection, you need to select a proper lens according to the table below. So here's just a table, like I said, if you need this webinar to maybe go back and view exactly, if you need it, we can send it to you to your emails, we can send it to you, no issues. And just a couple notes, license plate width accounts for half to one of the camera's field view, and license plate width varies in each region. So yeah, like I said, your installations aren't all going to be the same. This is just some recommended settings for it to be up and running. Continuing on with some installation requirements, the percentage of the license plate, the width of the license plate ranges from 6% being the minimum that you can put it at to 50% of the total width of the image. So that would be the outer square here in the middle image, as you can see here. This would be the outer square, and 50% is the maximum range that you can go. The external light, maintain a distance from the camera to the plate to avoid excessive light on the camera and obtain a clear image. You don't want too much light because there are plates that will reflect the light and it will make it harder for the LPR to detect that license plate. So you want it at kind of a distance, somewhere around maybe 3 meters, 2 to 5 meters to 3 meters is completely fine. The installation angle, the installation angle will most likely be 15 degrees in most installations. And as for height, I would say around like 1.5 to 2 meters is okay. Here on the picture down here, it says 1.3 to 1.5 meters in height. That's fine. 2 meters is also okay. The recognition distance is from 2.5 to 3 meters. And here is an example right here on the third image. You see the LPR here is at a height of 1.5 meters, maybe 2 meters, and the recognition distance is from 2.5 meters to 3 meters. So once he passes here, the LPR will recognize it, it'll open the barrier, and the car can safely traverse through. Now, for traffic surveillance, it's a completely different story. The recognizable vehicle speed for this LPR is from 30 to 70 kilometers per hour. And normally the degree will be the same in most installations. Like I said, 15 degrees is going to be the normal, the standard basically. But for traffic surveillance, the height is completely different. It'll be from 4 to 6 meters. And the percentage of vehicle license plate, the width of the license plate ranges from 6% to 50%. It's the same thing. Now, a note. The highest recognizable speed is 70 kilometers per hour, and it can be used to cover 2 lanes. So whether you're putting it here on the far left of the highway or the street, it'll be able to view these two cars. And if you put it in the center, the same thing as well. Now for the recommended configuration, due to the great variety of scenarios in real life, some of which are not so perfect, the configuration may vary. Like I was talking about early, not all installations are going to be the same. These are just some recommended settings that we're giving you so you can just get it up and running while you fiddle with the configurations yourself to get it working as you see fit. So for the detection, these are key points that can affect license plate capture: the definition, the duration, the size, and the area. Some of the recommended settings are to adjust the camera angle and height to ensure the plate remains in the image for more than 1 second. You need to set the maximum and minimum adjustments of the detection area. Draw the area, and the position will depend on the actual scene. Here you can see that it's by default, the minimum area is going to be 6%, and the outer area is going to be at a maximum of 50%. Here you can view the license plate just fine. Here at 3.4%, you're not going to see it. At 4.5%, you're not going to see it. At 6.5%, you'll start seeing it. 14.8 and 24% is completely visible. So in the vehicle database, there is a database where you can add and remove license plates. Like here you can see it. They're adding a license plate here, AB123, the start time and the end time. So this is a schedule. You can also put schedules on the access list. So how long will this car have to enter and exit the building? Say you want one day he's going to enter at 8 a.m. and he's going to leave a week later at the same time, 8 a.m. You can have this here, and the end time will be a week later at 8 a.m. That's when he has to leave. If not, it won't work anymore. You can put the owner here of the car, the license plate type, that's up to you. Here in comparison and linkage, we have an option for alarms. You can put an alarm to the camera, and you can put the alarm list to allow list or the block list or the stranger list. And this is some of the results for the comparison. So you see here the date, the time, the license plate, and whether it's on the allow list or the block list. Now for the image adjustment, You need to set the schedule, so you can switch to day-night mode without an issue. Headlights directly from the vehicle will cause the image to switch from black-white mode to color mode. Under a scene around nightfall, the image quality is poor. With infrared light enabled, can get much better performance. So this camera has an option to switch between infrared and color. Now, during the daytime, you should adjust the image as well, so it's not too bright and it's not too low. You can see down here the reflective plates. As I said before, the white light might interrupt with the detection of some of the license plates, so be careful with that. Don't put it too close, or this might happen right here in the first image, where it's completely reflecting off the plate and it's hard to see what numbers there are. Now, as for the shutter, in the scene where the vehicle speed is lower than 40 kilometers per hour, it can be approximately extended, but not more than 1 to 100. If the gate can be set to 1 to 100, the faster the speed, the smaller the value needs to be. The smaller the shutter limit is set, the worse the image will be in low light scenes. So for the gain setting is auto. It doesn't need to exceed 20. It can be reduced to about 10. And as for auxiliary lighting, if the ambient visible light is low, in order to grasp the license plate clearly, you need to limit the gain and shutter. For a license plate with strong infrared reflection, use white light to supplement light. A license plate that do not have strong infrared reflection, use infrared to fill it. And as for license plate exposure settings, you can set the detection area and enable plate exposure to set the value. Cautions on using the license plate exposure function. If the customer sets the license plate as still black, according to the above picture right here, it means that the scene has a large dynamic range, and the license plate exposure cannot be used to improve the license plate capture. You need to set it up, the detection area, reasonably. And here are some of the product features. So the image has a compression of H.265 plus. It is a 4 megapixel camera for 30 FPS, has a 1 on 1.8 CMOS. As for the interface, it does have a reset button. It has a micro SD slot of up to 256 gigabytes. It's PoE 802.3 AF, and it works in -30, -60 Celsius. As for the functions, it has intelligent video analytics, such as vehicle license plate recognition and vehicle type detection. You can put a watermark on it and a privacy mask as well. And as for the LPR side, it has captures as a database of up to 10,000, has a capture range from 0 to 120 kilometers per hour. And it has a motorized lens of from 2.8 to 12 millimeters. And for the other model, here's the two models down here. For the other model, it'll be 8 to 32 millimeter. It has one audio channel for input and output. You can be used outdoor, has an IP rating of 67, and it has two alarm channel for input and output. They're dry contacts. This is a video, well, a picture of the live view through the web interface of the camera or directly on the NVR. This is how it's going to be seen. The car is going to be coming in. You can see the license plate here, and it detected it, captured it, identified it, and it's going to be on the log here. And you can see the license plate, you can see the group, the name, and the time and date right here at the bottom. And here's the recording list of captured plates. Here you can search from the date and time that you need to search from, whether it's on the allow list, whether there's a stranger, whether it's on the block list. You can put that if you want. If you know the license plate, you can put the license plate and search it. But this is just a general visualization of what it's going to look like when you're searching it. Then you can click on the image and it'll give you a playback with the license plate down here, fully recognizable, and a playback of when the car came in. Here is the mobile app. You can use SuperCam Plus, you can use Super Live Plus, or you can use the eConnect app. You can from the application you can add license plates. So straight from the application you can add license plate. You can do the event search from the application as well. Right here, as you see, you can put search event or search by event. And here you can put the date and time, the type. If you have the license plate number, you can put it here, and it'll give you a result of what you searched for here. If you tap on it, it'll give you a playback of the recognition. You can also activate the relay of whatever is connected to the LPR straight from the application without an issue. And this is a video of how the LPR camera is going to work. Here you can see the car is coming in, it's turning into the parking lot, it got detected and the barrier opened. The same thing for cars exiting the parking lot. So there the camera is at a height of 1.3 to 1.5 meters, it's at an angle of 15 degrees, and the recognition distance of 2.5 to 3 meters. Here it's telling you that the license plate is on the allow list and it's going to open the barrier. So here is how to enable it. You can put alarm out if you have an alarm set on the LPR, and the area of the detection, which is a minimum of 6% and maximum of 50%. This is the schedule. You can put a schedule on the LPR itself. And this is also where you can look at the logs of the captures. Here you can do a bulk entry. So this camera is NDAA compliant. It has 5 years of warranty, not just this LPR, but all of the E-series lines, all of the cameras, all the intercoms, the NVRs, the DVRs, everything in the E-series line has a warranty of 5 years. And last but not least, I'd like to thank you for coming to this webinar. I would like to take this time to answer any questions that you guys might have about the LPR camera. So here in the questions tab, you can put any questions you have and I'll be happy to answer them. Okay, so Alex Matos says, "Good morning. What is the accuracy rate? What do you mean by the accuracy rate? The rate at which the detection and captions is done? What percentage that is? Percentage of correct plates read? That is all depending on the installation. So if you have everything at the recommended height, at the recommended distance, if you have good lighting, then you won't have any issues. So Victor Duarte says, "Hi, good morning. Is it compatible with titanium NVRs? I am not sure. Titanium NVRs. I don't know about that line of NVR, so I can't give you an exact answer on that. But if you put the LPR on a switch, you can use it on the software, and you won't need the NVR. So, will the camera provide the make, model, and color of the vehicle? Thank you for that question, Alex Matos again. The camera will provide the model, but not the color and make. We do have another camera that does have those functions. It is the metadata camera that we have. It provides the color of the car, it provides the model, the color, the year, the make, it provides everything. And it doesn't just do it for the car, it also does it for humans as well. So if you're wearing a black long sleeve shirt, how old the person is, if it's a male or a female, if it's wearing a hat or a backpack or a mask with glasses, what color the pants, and you can search by all of those as well. So let's take your question by chance. If you want to search, say something happened at a gas station, you want to search. The person doesn't know what the guy looked like, but he knows the car. It was a brown Chevrolet. It was a truck. So you can search by brown cars, and you can search by truck. You can search by Chevrolet, and it'll give you exactly the times and all of the events under that categorization that you gave it. Moises Leal, thank you. Can I have your email for future assistance? Yes, so my email, if you need any help with projects or anything or just any questions, my email is roberto, ROBERTO dot JAUREGUI at epcom.net. That's EPCOM.net. Alex Matos says, "Does the camera provide webhook in real time upon reading the tag for exporting the tag info?" So it does give you a capture in real time using the software. You can use the EVMS software to have like real time monitoring. It'll give you exactly everything that has, it'll give you all the information that it has on the LPR. I mean, not on the LPR, on the license plate. It'll give you the license plate numbers itself. It'll give you the time and date. It'll give you the whether it's on the allow list or the block list. And if you had put it in the system like that, it'll tell you who's and like what's the owner of it. Can the camera get updates in order to learn new tag models and vehicle models? No, that is by time. So new tag models will be implemented through firmwares. So if you need that specific function, you can email me. We can talk about that more, and I can get it from the manufacturer if you need that function. Thank you, Alex, for coming. So if there's no more questions at this time, I would like to thank you all for coming to this webinar. We have other webinars available on our website. I'm sure the team is handing out, is soliciting information on our future webinars to your emails. If you need my email, once again, here I can write it down. This will be my email if you need to contact me about any future projects or any questions you have on the E-Series line. And once again, thank you guys for coming to this webinar. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.